Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly reporting from Boston tonight. And in the Miller Time segment, let's get right to the sage of Southern California. Joins us from Santa Barbara this evening. So, Miller, the Libya murders, what do you think?
Well, first off, rest in peace to those brave souls. God knows who's drawn to that sort of duty because, man, you're putting yourself in the craziest cul-de-sac in the world. So God rest their souls. Secondly, Billy, on days like this, you got to take a breath because there's a part of me that wishes every violent malcontent in that part of the world had been assigned their own drone, and you just bought Van Cliburn in to run the keyboard on the toggle switches. Get this on. But obviously, you have to isolate the right people. Now, Obama has shown a reticence in some ways to engage the enemy, but in other ways, he does the right thing. I assume we have a drone taxi stand over there somewhere so we don't have to deadhead these things back and forth. And I also assume there's going to be some people croaked in the next 24 hours. I would tell the president there's another even more humanistic thing he can do if he doesn't want to waterboard people and he'd rather blow them up with drones. I would say that I would work the old U.S. Grant William Tecumseh Sherman thing. War is the ugliest business in the world. If you want to save people being killed, you should let them know way up front that it's not even a discussion point. There's a march to the sea. You engage them whenever you can, and you kill them. And I think that's what it's going to have to come to. Thomas Friedman, hardly a Curtis LeMay type, wrote that great book From Beirut to Jerusalem, and he was talking about Hama rules, how Hafiz Assad scraped that town that night. And that's the only thing they understand. I assume that's what's going to happen later today, and I hope we're not whiny and neurotic about it.
I don't think we're going to be whining and neurotic about tracking down al-Qaeda's, which we believe, based on intel, were responsible for the murders of the 4 Americans in Benghazi, Libya. You can't hold that government accountable because that government's chaos. They're just trying to get up and running. It was obviously a planned assassination of the American ambassador. But Egypt is a different story. That government could have stopped that attack on our embassy. The Egyptian military in Cairo could have definitely dispersed these people, and they said no, they didn't do it. Now there, we have an institutional problem. And I don't think President Obama, as I said in the talking points memo, knows what to do.
Listen, Bibi Netanyahu should have his own bedroom at the White House right now. There should be a photo op every month of those two holding a big fish up and smiling. We shouldn't be meeting with the Muslim Brotherhood. Netanyahu's our guy on the ground there, and I don't think he believes we're there for him anymore. I think Netanyahu finds this indifference. I think he's thinking, okay, when it's go time, it's one less phone call for me to make. We've got to embrace the Jews here and let that part of the world know that we've got an advanced team over there and the guys of Israel, and they best not screw with them, and they best get their minds straight. The best way to preclude a war is through strength. To tell them, listen, we're going to back this guy's play, not to make the world think, are we going to back Israel's play? Of course we are. They're Israel. We're like this, or should be.
Now, in hindsight, the Republicans didn't do a lot of foreign affairs in their convention. Do you think that was a mistake in Tampa?
No, I think the world's so chaotic right now that the commander-in-chief has to be in charge of that stuff. I would stay out of it to a large degree, except to let our allies know that we'll be there for him. I assume Obama, he did kill bin Laden, is going to kill somebody today, as he has to. Those are huge decisions. I think the guy in power has to make those. So I find the RNC staying a bit far away from that. To me, that indicates a lack of presumptuousness on their part. If they get power, they'll have time. This war is forever with these nutcases.
All right, but don't you think that the Republicans have to send a message to the American voter that, listen, we have a different view of how to deal with the jihad? We would be a little bit more, I don't know, tougher. I'm not defining it, but I think they need to define it for the American voter because this is becoming now, with Iran and everything else, an issue as well as the economy.
Billy, Romney has said he won't let Iran get a bomb. Those aren't very hard lines to read between. I get that. He's also just visited Israel. I get that. I think they've demarcated as much as they can without looking like in a time of strafe and, fracas that they're kind of marking turf. I think people get the difference between these two people.
All right. Now, we're going to have more with Miller in a moment, including his interesting shootout with Jay Leno over President Obama. We'll have that report for you right after these messages. Continuing now with Dennis Miller, who appeared on The Tonight Show a few weeks back. And here's how that went down.
I don't dislike President Obama. I just think that it's been an inept 4 years. And, you know, I'm just calling it as I see it. I know you like him. What am I missing over the last 4 years? It just does not seem that good to me.
Well, I think he has compassion for regular people. I think that's what I think. If the Republican Party is missing anything, it's this sort of war on women and compassion
war on
for
women with Sandra Fluke. She's 30, for God's sake. She's still in school. She wants me to kick in $10 a month for her birth control. Here, I'll give you 10. Just shut up for a second, okay?
All right, Miller rejoins us now from Santa Barbara. Do you think you got through to Jay?
No. Listen, there's a war on women, as per the progressives in this country, yet we're prohibited from saying war on terror, or asked by the president. Note the events of today. We're talking about a war on women with a woman who, quite frankly, reminds me of that character, the little whiny girl in Willy Wonka, Veruca Salt. Daddy, I want my own Oompa Loompa, is code for, hey, you, pay for my diaphragm. People are sick of it. Honey, you become a retainer person after you get your law degree, not before. If the president is asking everybody to grab an oar and chip in here, yours should be stop whining about birth control for a while. Grab that oar, take care of it. You're a 31-year-old woman who's stuck in a Virginia Slims magazine ad from 1968. Get with it. This will show you how stratified this country is right now. If we can't have unanimity on somebody like Sandra Fluke and say, for God's sakes, you helpless creature, we really are polarized. Because there's no other time in history that 100% of the population, including women, would have said, damn it, you don't speak for me, you're embarrassing me. Shut up, get a little, Professor Quinn or Dr. Quinn medicine woman gumption, and shut up about it.
That's right, go out to the prairie, earn some money, get a job, and buy your own stuff. But it's
Is this really how women, you can't want to be fronted like this?
I don't know how anybody can be buying this, but you made a very interesting point that I don't even know if you made it. You know if you made it, all right?
Yes, so, I meant everything.
So but it was so brilliant that I don't even know if you know how. So the Democratic Party won't say war on terror. It won't say, hey, here's a continuation of the war on terror in Libya. 4 of our guys assassinated. You don't hear that. No, 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 because we don't want to offend the peaceful Muslims. All right, so not going to say the war on terror, but war on women. Oh, here we go. It's Pearl Harbor Day for women. And you know what? Wait a minute. Wait. You know what? American women are in the best place on the planet. They have more opportunity. They have more freedom. They can say whatever they want. They get perks all over the place. Go to another country. Go to Belgium, for crying out loud. It's not even close. And we have to deal with this in the Democratic Party. You're right. It's crazy.
Billy, Jay Leno's wife, Mavis, should always be one of those Time People of the Year. Nobody more indefatigable in their defense of Afghani women against the Taliban, where if the thing falls down, you get your nose snipped off. For him to bring up war on women in that ludicrous way, when there actually is a war on women, damn it, across the pond, I don't know what Jay's doing there.
And who's perpetrating that war on women overseas? Who's doing that?
The same guys who did Libya today. Trust me. You pull on a lot of these strings, they end up back at the same base, as they say.
Yeah, but I mean, so you basically are talking to liberal America, and I think Jay Leno falls into that category. He's not a loon. He's not, as far left as Letterman, but he's certainly sympathetic to that. And you say, how could you possibly make an issue out of war on women when there really is a war on women perpetrated by these jihadists, by these people who want Sharia law, and we can't say a word about it. We can't mention it because it's offensive. It's just insane.
the left, Billy, it's like Alec Guinness at the end of Bridge on the River Kwai. I'm asking you out there, liberals, Somewhere you've got to wake up. Every time we disagree with you, we can't be wrong. We can't be stupid like Palin. We can't be an Uncle Tom like Arthur Davis. We can't be a rich guy who doesn't care about people. We can't be all those things. Maybe we have a point on some of this. You have to wake up and quit being a victimized Avengers where everybody has a superpower that puts them down. Stop it now. There's half of us out here who are scared witless that this president doesn't step up when Biden says guys like me and OReilly want to enslave black people again, and the president doesn't say, hey, I meant it after Gabby Giffords. I want to stop that craziness. This country's getting too pissed off at each other. Now stop it, Biden. You I can command. You're my second in command, Shemp. Zip it. But we don't see any of it.
Shemp, that's a reference to, of course.
Listen, Biden's so stupid at this point, he needs a spotter to play Sudoku.
Dennis Miller, leaving on a high note.